Designed our products by a fluke. Two PhD chemists showed up at our booth. One was from a company called Roman Haas in Philadelphia. And are you shooting now?
Mm-hmm.
One was from a big surfactant company in Philadelphia called Roman Haas, and they make surfactants, which would be, for the average person, would be like soaps, wetting agents, that type of thing. The other guy was from a company in New Jersey called Elementus, and they make thickeners and some corrosion inhibitors that you can make that thickener do. Well, who would ever expect two PhDs in your booth at the same time, and they both had the same car. Both had 68 Duster 346 packs. So we get talking, the one's got Centerline wheels, the other's got Weld wheels, and our original aluminum polish was endorsed by both of them. We've since changed it, it was a water base. Now the one we have, with their help and the head PhD from ExxonMobil, the head PhD from Alcoa, where they mine aluminum oxide, it's just a fluke. You could never get doing this. And so with their help, a couple years of fiddle faddling, we ended up with products that are unusual. The premise of the product was to make it perform. And our history goes back a long time. When I was 10 years old, my dad bought a truck stop. So I became a gearhead at the age of 10. And I had about 400 customers that came to our garage and truck stop that wouldn't let anybody work on their car but me, because I'm fussy. I'm a perfectionist. And then this went on, I went to college, I ended up with a 4.0 average, taking 38 semester hours, working at the New Haven Chamber of Commerce 20 hours a week in the Firestone store. And prior to that, at our truck stop, we had a couple friends who subsequently went to work for a company in New Haven called United Nuclear. They made the nuclear reactors that were in the Polaris, the Nautilus. It was the S3G. We had ones that were in the Enterprise aircraft carrier, the S5G or S5W, I can't remember. And then one went in a cruiser called the Bainbridge. So I had an atomic energy security clearance, but when I went to University of New Haven, they got real upset because they found out I was working 40 hours a week and taking 38 semester hours and getting a 4.0 average. And basically the dean said it's impossible. You're doing something that nobody else was smart enough to do. You're probably breaking into the files and getting the tests and copying them, and then somehow you're hiding it somewhere. Now see, that was way before mini computers and stuff. But anyway, we got through that and worked for an ad agency for a while. And being a gearhead, I accidentally met one of the product managers of a company in Branford, Connecticut called Eklund Manufacturing. They made all sorts of ignition stuff. And they wanted me to do some work for them. And we've come up in July of 1968, the Excel logo. And took it from 0 to almost $2 million in sales the first year. We showed up at Pomona, NHRA Winter Nationals, February 5th, 1969, with the first tractor trailer with 10 distributor machines in it, and away it went. I mean, it just exploded. And then the ad agency that we was working with, they got involved in TV programs and thought Coke was going to do something, and it went broke. Coke pulled the plug after they spent a lot of money. Excel came to me and said, Ted, start your own agency, we'll support you. So away we went, and we ended up with 21 accounts, which was great, except I was gone 32 weekends a year. That's a little bit over the hump. All the drag races, NHRA, IHRA, AHRA, Trans Am, and several of the like the Indy 500 cars. So I was a busy character. And two of the clients we had, which impact where this came from, were Centerline wheels and Weld Racing, which is what made those PhD chemists show up at our booth. Because one called Centerline, the other called Weld. We got to go to Spring, Carlisle and get some of that water-based polish that Busch has. And The rest is, we just kept starting. And one of my buddies, a good friend, was Joe Amato, who started Keystone Automotive Warehouse. Well, I went down there, we were going to do a picture for an Excel poster, and the guys were having trouble. Somebody had sprayed acid on their truck wheels and fuel tanks. And they couldn't get the stains off with the polish they were using. I let them try mine, and they went berserk. Joe comes down, looks at it, and says, "You know what? That stuff's incredible. Could you make us 5,000 bottles of that blue stuff and 5,000 bottles of the water-based polish?" That was 1978, and away we went. And then in 1990, we had these chemists that showed up at my booth. It must have been an act of God, because I don't know how it could happen otherwise. And we had 8 PhDs helping us, and I could ask some pretty interesting questions. And with my ridiculous questions that I would dream up about the outer electron valence bond, if we do this reverse current flow and do this reverse current flow over here, how we can combine the atoms and come up with a molecule that does something that nobody would expect, and they wouldn't be able to track it. And that's what we did. We had a lot of help from ExxonMobil and Roman Haas too. That guy was a gearhead plus a really good atom chemist. So that's basically the way we got started, and we just slowly added some stuff. What this line of stuff that you see here, there's several products that are incredibly awesome that we don't have that we're going to bring back. One of them is a matte tire dressing and a high gloss tire dressing. These you can run for 5,000 miles, 10,000 miles, in and out of rain. It doesn't go away. You rub your hand on it and you look at your hand's bone dry. No grease. It's a little more money than some of the brand stuff, but it lasts 10 times as long. So a hair more in money is irrelevant in how well it lasts.
My experience with those, I stopped using the tire dressings a few years ago because I found over time, turn your tire outside your tire like brown and yucky and awful looking. So then you would use more and it would look good, but it just progressively got worse.
Another problem that happens is a lot of the tire dressings are a solvent system. You do not want to use a solvent on your tires. It greatly accelerates the tendency to crack, which means a weakened tire. So that's, but all the products that you see here, all the chemicals we make in states.
I told him I'd take that one.